You're the reason they're dead. He's back. Voldemort's back.
She killed him. You know the spell, Baron.
Avada Kedavra.
I must be the one to kill him, Harry.
Hello everyone, my name is Onyx Spade and welcome to the long-awaited episode of Movie What. In this very special episode, you probably saw the trailer that I had made. So you may have a small poquito idea on what this movie What episode is about. Let's talk about a movie series that a lot of people in the world know about, either because of the books that they're referring to, or just the fact that they've heard of the name of the series in general. The Harry Potter series. Many books came out of this series about a boy named Harry Potter. A boy that was born with a thunderbolt scar on his forehead. A boy that had interesting talents as you progress through not only the books but the movie series. It was a great book series. I read every single book. The books are just a plain masterpiece. A masterpiece that honestly not many book series really have an equal to. Then the movies came out. They picked a lot of people to be the perfect roles for the characters of Harry Potter, Hermione Granger, and Ronald Weasley. There was also other recurring characters such as Severus Snape, Albus Dumbledore, and many different teachers. And then you go through the middle of the series, well, partial middle, where we get into Sirius Black. We get into a little bit more backstory on what had happened with Harry's past. And we also get to see many instances of the one that shall not be named, Tom Riddle, also known as Lord Voldemort. Now, many people will say that the least favorite Harry Potter movie was Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone, also known as an alternative name, Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone. But we won't really get into that alternative in this video. But to many people, by looking at statistics online and asking many people that I know personally, the least favorite movie was Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone. A lot of people's mediocre favorites was stuck between Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban and Harry Potter and the Order of the Phoenix. Now, at an astonishing 75 to 86% percentile, people's favorite movie and or book, because they were very slightly equal, was stuck between Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire or Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince, which I thought that was quite astonishing, actually. Now, me personally, my favorite films was literally all of them. Of course, the least favorite being the Sorcerer's Stone. However, as each movie progressed through the progression of the books, so did my fascination with the Harry Potter series, all in all. Now, I'm going to do a first in my repertoire of being a movie critic and also being a movie lover himself. And also, this will be a first video for my segment, Movie What, which is the simple fact that I'm going to review all of the Harry Potter films. Now, I'm not going to do it like most people would guess that I'm going to do, where I'm going to talk about each actual movie separately. No. That would be too easy for me. I'm going to think of all the movies combined into one whole storyline. Basically, in a nutshell, Harry Potter lives with a family called the Dursleys. He lives in a small cupboard where no one can really find him. He seems out of place till he's encountered by a giant named Hagrid. Tells Harry that he is a wizard. On his own birthday is when he's revealed this information. And as things go by, he gains friends, and weird things start happening. He starts learning more about his real parents. He starts to understand his role very slowly. Not only because the way things are portrayed, they're going slowly, but the simple fact that Harry, in the background, is being protected in certain ways. Now, in all this, Harry Potter has a rival, and then he has an enemy. His rival being a boy named Draco Malfoy, a complete utter douchebag that when you first meet him is a douchebag. You know, he claims that he's better than Harry Potter in every way. He claims that he's the best student in the school. And, you know, Draco Malfoy goes through an evolution on his own. Okay? Enough about Draco. Then there's his enemy, Tom Mulvey Riddle, also known as Lord Voldemort. A man that has two main hatreds in the world: Harry Potter and Muggles. Now, Lord Voldemort, being Muggle-born, was really the real reason why he hated Muggles. Because of the simple fact that his father was a Muggle. This messed with Tom very badly. As a child, that would mess somebody up if they really didn't just fit into the world. And then Voldemort, down the road, killed Harry's mom and his dad. Makes you really cry when you think about it, because really, throughout the whole movie series, aside from Hermione Granger and Ron Weasley, Harry loses everybody that cared about him. We could talk about people like Sirius Black, Albus Dumbledore. Many people. Many people died just so Harry Potter would survive. It could really mess with a kid. Especially as Harry grew up and grew up and grew up. Now, in the beginning parts of the movie, in the movie series, people would believe that Hermione and Harry would become a couple. I mean, Hermione is a smart, prodigy wizard. At first, you would think of her as a know-it-all, but she evolves as she gets older. Harry himself is a powerful wizard as well, hence the Patronus charm, and many other different abilities that Harry Potter has. Some of them he gained as being a Horcrux that Lord Voldemort did not even know that he created. And because of this, Harry Potter gained strengths and abilities from Lord Voldemort. Now down the road, as they get older, Hermione and Ron start to become a couple very slowly, and they start to get feelings for each other. Now, in an unlikely turn, Harry Potter gets a crush from Ron's sister, Ginny Weasley. Or Geneva Weasley, if you want to use the proper name term. Many things happen in the film series. Now, I bet people are wondering right now, how would I rate the Harry Potter film series if I'm not comparing them as one movie each, but as a whole storyline? Well, it's definitely not going to be a 10 out of 10 because of the simple fact that The Sorcerer's Stone really was not that good of a movie. They tried, but they didn't really exactly succeed at what they wanted. Now, it's definitely not going to be a 9 because they changed so much in the movies that really either didn't happen in the books or they changed it so it would be entertaining and left some parts from the book that were crucial out of the movies. Hence the fact that they really didn't get into Albus Dumbledore's legacy in the middle to last few movies in the franchise. And they left out a lot of crucial things as well. Now, what would I technically rate the Harry Potter series? Well, I'd have to say that as a whole, the Harry Potter series, I would have to give it maybe a 7.5 or an 8 out of 10. Now, like I said in the trailer, this was going to be a very epic movie review. The most epic decision I've ever made for my YouTube channel. So if you think that this episode of Movie What is gone and done with, oh no. May I present to you the other people that are going to review the franchise. Now, their ratings are probably going to be completely different than mine. But this is also a way for me to introduce to you my reliable, my amazing, and great members of a group and or family that I call Neon. A group that I've had for about 3 to 4 years now. This was a group I even had when I had my old channel. But enough of talk like that. May I introduce to you the next reviewer that's going to review the Harry Potter franchise. Also, he is my vice president and one of the greatest movie critics I've ever laid eyes on. And I think that he has the greatest potential even to be the closest to the nostalgia critic or any other great critic on YouTube. And don't worry, I will end this movie review with me ending it for everyone. But may I introduce to you your next critic, Killer Rodan.
Thank you, Oxy Spade, for my great introduction. And my name is, of course, the one and only Killer Rodan. And welcome to my part in this epic review. Just for this particular review, I'm going to do things a bit different. And I'll be speaking about the Harry Potter series. I'm going to be acting as if all these films were just one. I'll be speaking about all the 8 films in this video. The Harry Potter movie series is going to be one of those film series that's going to be getting good reviews or bad reviews. But anyway, the Harry Potter series became one of the most successful and one of the longest film franchises of all time. We began with Harry Potter entering, Hogwarts. He's the main character of this series, of course, where he makes a lot of friends and a lot of enemies who wants him dead. Of course, the plot lines for these films do get darker and more gloomier as they went. But to me, that's actually a pretty good thing. These films do need to change one way or another. And these films were mostly produced by this director named David Heyman. Harry Potter is based on the series of books of the same name, which were done by the author J.K. Rowling. Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone is the very first film of the series where Harry himself discovers that he is the wizard on the eve of his 11th birthday. And there is this giant named Hagrid who comes to him and takes him to the school for witchcraft and wizardry. And our main character, Henry, he learns that when he was a baby, the dark and evil Lord Voldemort came into his home and had murdered his parents. Of course, we do need a good villain for these films. Yeah, Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets is the second film. He's back at the Hogwarts school, and of course, he does have to go through more training. Of course, he does make a lot of friends in this one, of course, and we do get to in these films we do get to learn that more about his family and such. I think for the third film, for the third film, folks, of this series, Harry Potter, he leaves his home in rage because he blew off, something that's very important. But of course, he's not exactly expelled due to the fact that his safety is in concern. And then for the other film, Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire, you know, he's back at Hogwarts again. Well, this year he enters this tournament. And then for the other movie, folks, it's the one titled Harry Potter and the Order of Phoenix. And again, he goes through a lot of struggle, of course. And then stuff really hits the fan in the other movie titled Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince. Yeah, this is the one where things get really crazy, folks, in my own opinion. But anyway, the last two remaining books, the last remaining book, which is titled Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows, this book of Harry Potter was split into two films, Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows Part 1 and Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows Part 2. Yeah, this is where, you know, you can say this is where the series actually ends, folks. In my own opinion, Harry Potter never really made a bad movie. I mean, okay, granted, there were those better than others, but I like these movies. I like all of them, okay? And I like all the books as well. All these books that have Harry Potter are really good. Okay, maybe except the last one. Like I said, the last Harry Potter film. Well, excuse me, technically the last two Harry Potter films were better than the last book of Harry Potter. I didn't like the last Harry Potter book, folks. I didn't like it that much, really. But anyway, I would like to thank, once again, Akshay Spade, my brother from another mother, for this great opportunity to be in this movie review. Now let's switch to the spotlight for me to another important member of the, you know, family, and that is Neon.
My name is Crazy Sean Diaz, and I will give you my take on the Harry Potter movies. So, sit back, get out your bag of popcorn, your choice of beverage, and let's get started. Harry Potter, the son of Lily and James Potter, the boy that survived, had an interesting experience growing up, didn't he? Just hated a Severus Snape, wanted dead by a being that many wizards alike were afraid of, had many people that cared for him just die so that he could stay alive, and just had bad strains of luck all over. It makes me wonder how he managed to get through it all. Well, aside from having Hermione and Ron at his side, you still wonder how he was lucky and unlucky at the same time. You know, if you have read the books, you would have known all the struggles and backgrounds of each character and how they interacted, how they moved and formed relationships that just felt so real, that people loved them like family. Hell, I grew up with the books, really, and how should I put it? I love each of the characters dearly. I mean, they have depth and meaning. That's just something you can't put into a movie. Plot is more than just a plot. It gives hope, man. It gives hope. Yeah, I know that sounds a little weird, but hell, J.K. Rowling captured something in those books that inspired millions of people, just millions of people, to be just a little bit better at what they do, even if they're the best at what they do. And believe that even if there is less good than evil in the world, it is better to do right in the face of adversity. Rowling just captured life in her books, something that not very many authors can do. Not to mention that Rowling intertwines beautiful descriptive writing and unique and original ideas. She makes it so that you can literally dive in between the pages and the words and fight alongside with all the beloved characters, with Harry, with Hermione, with Ron, the whole gang. Now, the Harry Potter films, in my honest opinion, altogether, they get a 7.5 out of 10. Why? Well, to be honest, I honestly like the books better, but I gave the films a chance too. And they were decent. They were pretty good. Now, it's time for the spotlight to go to DJ Soul.
Welcome everyone. I'd like to thank you, Sean, for your review on the Harry Potter films. Thank you everyone for your reviews. Hello, this is DJ Soul of the Neon, and today I'm going to be reviewing Harry Potter films. When I think about Harry Potter films, I think about a time in my life that I really got to forget. Or maybe I shouldn't do that. When I look at the elements of the story and what's being told here, it isn't about some evil thing, it's about friendship. The story where sinners around 4 people who meet as children and grow up together, and it's part of a magical world that most of us can only dream about. But as I think about it, is it really all that mystical of an idea? I, as a man of faith, would think not, for I believe in a being that isn't of this world. But as these friends grow and learn together, they become closer. There's a trust there, even against opposition, a caring about one another, and even to succeed against the evil which plagued their world. Harry, the one who felt ignored, and kept to himself. And can we ever really say that we hadn't felt forgotten at one time or another in this life? Gets plucked out of his element and thrust into the inevitable road, the plan for his life, meeting new people along the way and helping one another to become better. The happiness in knowing that you are following what you are meant to do. You've got the hero, the smug know-it-all, the goofball, and the smart kid. Just really, really great storytelling at work here. It's something that can give you hope when you feel hopeless, or if you look at it like that. So you, the viewer, can look at your own life and ask yourself, are you satisfied? Do you feel peace about where you're going in life? You are where you're meant to be as long as you listen to that still small voice that guides you along. Don't fight where you're going in life unless you're hurting yourself, because if you hurt yourself, you hurt the people who love you and care about you so much. Harry Potter is a reminder to me that no matter where you're headed in this big crazy world, you'll find people one day who love you for who you are, and who will fight for you together against anything that prevents you of what you know is right for one another. So in light of this, I think I'll give the book and the films a rating of at least an 8. The story is just great and the visuals are stunning. It's just an all-around great series. Thank you everyone for taking your time to listen to my part of this epic review. I'll switch to John Rumble for his take on the Harry Potter films. This has been DJ Soul of the Neon. Neon is the new, Neon is the true, and Neon uploads for you.
Thank you, DJ Soul, for that great review. Hopefully everyone watching this review likes my take on the Harry Potter series as well. So without further small talk, I am Mr. Rumble Roses of the Rumble Rose Network, and an honored member of Neon, and this is my take on the Harry Potter series. When I was 8 years old, my mom bought me my first Harry Potter book. I'd always been a reader. I knew how to read at age 3, and I've been devouring books ever since. I used to go to the library 3 times a week and take out new books to read. So when my mom heard about this smart and interesting children's book series, she snatched it up for me, and I instantly fell in love with the magic and adventure of Harry Potter. I made every stick a wand, I chanted spells, I used my imagination. I even did book projects on it, even made friends because of it. Harry, Hermione, and Ron were there for me throughout all the difficult times in my childhood. Every time I read books today, I get something more out of it. The emotional moments are raw and real, and I can appreciate them now more at this age than I ever could at my young age. It means something different to every Potterhead, but these books changed our lives. They turned us onto reading, or gave us a community, or just made us smile. Of course, the movies were and are a major part of the Harry Potter fan experience as well. love them or hate them, or only love some of them, they have done a really great job telling a complex story in detail, so that those who haven't read the book and experienced Rowling's magical adventure. The actors were so perfectly cast, and of course Daniel Radcliffe was a magnificent Harry Potter. Rupert, a terrific Ron, and Emma did an amazing job as Hermione. But everyone from Harry to Professor Sprout was a perfect fit for their roles, and the best part is, when you hear them speak about their experiences, or talk about how excited they were to audition for the role, you can hear the excitement that they had about this series, and this is a project, and this project, and these characters. They became real friends while shooting, and enjoyed themselves. They did a magnificent job at playing both the funniest moments, and the saddest, and the scariest, and the most lighthearted moments throughout the films. The design of the films was invincible. It made fans feel as though you're really there from the moment the film first started. And I would give the books, I would give the Harry Potter series and book form, I would give that an 8 out of 10. And for the movies, I would give them a 7 out of 10. Whether you're a movie fanatic or a book nerd, as some would say, these are definitely some things to pick up and read or watch. You know, whatever you're into, you'll definitely love this stuff. But that's my part on the tank. So thank you for your time in watching my part of the Harry Potter review. Now back to Onyx Fade.
Thank you, all my members of Neon, for giving your input and your ratings on this great movie franchise. Thank you, everyone. Stay tuned in the future for more episodes of Movie What, and much more epic and more movies that I actually have in my repertoire to review for all of you. So, this is Onyx Spade, leader of the Neon. Neon is the new. Neon is the true. And Neon uploads for you.